Welcome back to another episode of How They Died. Today's episode we are taking a look at an FBI informant who also doubled as one of Boston's most powerful gangsters. James Whitey Bulger. Whitey Bulger, whose real name is James Joseph Bulger Jr., was born on September 3, 1929, in Dorchester, Massachusetts, and passed away on October 30, 2018, at the United States Penitentiary in Hazleton, Brewston Mills, West Virginia. He was an American crime boss who, as the head of the Winter Hill Gang, which operated in the Boston area, was a key figure in organized crime from the late 1960s to the middle of the 1990s. He had been listed as one of the FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives for more than a decade prior to his capture in June 2011. Bulger agreed to become a so-called top echelon informant for the FBI. John J. Connolly, another son of South Boston, was his FBI handler. Connolly, who was about 10 years older than Bulger and had grown up idolizing Bulger and Bulger's brother William, who went on to become a powerful Massachusetts politician, were also sons of South Boston. The witness relationship immediately turned degenerate. It was subsequently depicted as a villain's arrangement and leading to the most terrible source outrage in FBI history to become what? Bulger began to manipulate his handler and other FBI agents rather than the FBI having control over him. In 1979, Bulger escaped being named in an indictment for rigging horse races at East Coast racetracks, a case that ultimately led to Winters and the convictions of several of his associates. Bulger was able to take over as leader of the Winter Hill Gang because of the power vacuum that resulted. Stephen Flemmi, a former FBI informant, became his top lieutenant. Bulger quickly established a racket through which he extorted money from bookmakers, loan sharks, drug dealers, and other local criminals. He also gained a reputation for being terrifying outside of the criminal underworld. Multiple counts of racketeering and extortion were formally filed against Bulger, Flemmi, and a number of others in January 1995. Bulger, on the other hand, fled the area after being tipped off by Connolly prior to the indictment. Later, Connolly was found guilty of several offenses. By that point, there had been extensive coverage of Bulger's wrongdoings in the local media. Beginning in the middle of June 2011, the FBI launched a public search for Greg after listing Bulger as one of its 10 most wanted fugitives since 1999. After a few days, both of them were found at their house. Despite the fact that Bulger's 1995 arraignment was in this way excused, he confronted an extra prosecution that accused him in association of 19 homicides. Bulger spent time in several prisons before being transferred to U.S. Penitentiary Hazleton in northern West Virginia on October 29, 2018. The following day he was killed by several inmates.